Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Excelcast. I'm your host, Joe Parker, and today I'm going to be talking about pattern recognition, specifically how to transform your life through recognizing your patterns and adjusting your patterns on a daily basis. So, first off, I have not been dropping any podcasts for the past month. I've been doing a lot of stuff with work. Work at Crunch now as a personal trainer. I also have been moving, just moved. Was living with my uncle, and now I'm living with my cousin. We just moved into a new place, so very excited about that. But two things that I've really noticed specifically about myself and what I've been going through the past about month and a half, not really going through, but what's been developing for me within my life. So there's two types of patterns that we follow as human beings that I've noticed. There's disorganized and organized. So disorganized patterns are you're just going about your day and you're a creature of habit and you just do what you do with no intentional sense of why you do it, right? There's no reasoning behind what you're doing. It's simply just you going with whatever life throws at you, and not in a good way. I think there's some people that have talked about it's like your mind is using you rather than you using your mind. And whenever you use your mind in the right way, you can create and develop uh, thoughts, ideas, and make them reality. But whenever that's not the case and you're not actively using that part of your brain, your mind will make you do things that you're unconsciously doing that are not beneficial to you. Jim Rohn is one of my I look up to him when it comes to motivational speaking, his thought process, how he views the world, how he articulates his message as well. And he has not really a theory, but he talks about an apple a day. And I believe that having an apple a day is the flip side, is the organized part of a pattern, where you have a good pattern where you eat an apple a day and you set a priority to eat that apple a day. And it may at first not really seem like, hey, like this apple is beneficial to me, but what if that's all it took? What if all it took was you eating one apple a day? What if all it took was you going around the block once? What if all it took was you taking that first step and doing something small every day that would eventually compound into something great? Where you have the disorganized side of things, where you have a little bit of chocolate, and the little bit of chocolate may not impact you today, but if you have a chocolate bar every single day in place of an apple every single day, eventually that is going to catch up with you, and it's not going to be a positive way that it catches up with you. So in the same sense that some things that we do now may not hurt us right now that we know are not good, in the long run, if we build a pattern of consistently doing them and consistently making them a part of us and a part of our actions, our thoughts, our words, they will hurt us in the long run. Whereas if you do the opposite, where every morning you say nice things about yourself, say nice things to other people, you take a walk around the block, you do something, you put something together, you do something that is impactful not only to you, but to other people as well, I think that can create momentum to help you formulate other positive patterns as well. And I think that as humans, we often judge ourselves for where we're at in like 3 to 4 months. At least I do, like 3 to 4 months, and we're maybe not exactly where we want to be, but it's all about putting in the reps and putting in the work every day. And then eventually, over years and years, as it compounds, you'll get to where you want to be. But the same thing goes if you just give in a little bit. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. I just have one of whatever a day. Or I just have one of this, or two. I just have one or two. Some people think moderation is good, and it is. Moderation is good, but you need to understand yourself and you need to hold back on certain things as much as you can. Because the more that you don't do that, the more you deviate from the path of doing what's good and what's healthy for you. And I've always approached life with the attitude of why not do the extra, or why not do what is more positive, right? Like, at what point do you go, okay, it's time for me to have an Oreo? When you know when that decision comes, you can easily just go have an apple. And I've always tried my best to see life and see decisions like that, because I believe the more that I see what I see and what I do, I believe have an impact on me, have an impact on people around me. And I think that as a person, you set the standard for the world around you. So no matter what you do, no matter where you go, you need to make sure that you're always doing the best that you can. I've noticed that whenever I'm not doing the best that I can, that I don't feel good about my day. I don't feel good about what I did. I know that I didn't give the best effort. Because whenever you give the best effort, people around you notice, and you feel it. So not only do the people around you notice, which is okay, it's really not why you should be doing what you're doing. It is, I'm not going to say it's not a nice thing, it is, but the more effort that you give, you yourself, you feel that effort. I recently have been like adding conditioning to the end of my workouts, like, but not running, just like hit workouts, cardio, grinding, doing everything that I can do at the end of my workouts. And I've noticed that whenever I do that conditioning, the hit workouts at the end, I feel so much better about my entire workout, because I gave that extra effort and I gave that extra thing. And, you know, not saying that me just doing my regular workout, that's not enough, because it definitely is and it always is. But at the end of the day, you can always give that extra effort and you can always give that extra rep, and you choose when to quit and you choose when to give up. I've noticed that as well. It's a choice. It's a choice to stop. Like, just like with this podcast, there's times where I'm like, oh, well, I can't because that's what. No, it's because I have 10 minutes. It's been 8 minutes and 30 seconds right now. I have 8 minutes and 30 seconds. I have 10 minutes to sit down to talk and to deliver a message. You have 10 minutes to walk around the block. You have 20 minutes to go walk a mile. You have 20 minutes to read a book. We all have 20 minutes to dedicate to bettering ourselves. We all have 10 minutes dedicated to helping someone else out. It doesn't take much, but it always requires us to make the correct decision. And I think that sometimes we struggle with what is the right decision, when innately you know immediately what the right choice is. What's the right thing to do? At the end of the day, I'm a firm believer that God will always provide and God will always lead me in the right direction. In my life, I will always be provided for. Whether it's I have to go fishing for my food, or I have to build a shelter, or I have to build even to that point. I mean, I know it's not an ideal life, an ideal way of living, but having the knowledge and the capability to be able to do those things, and knowing that at the end of the day, on the flip side, everything will be okay spiritually and not just physically. Because at the end of the day, we were all born no clothes, kicking and screaming. And the only difference when we pass away is that we're not going to be kicking and screaming. No clothes, in the dirt. That's it for the physical body. But I truly believe that the spirit does live on, and that's really what we should be focusing on. And I think that the character you build and the spirit that you build through just every single day getting up and doing something positive is good for you. Even if it's just one thing too. I feel like a lot of times people are like, oh, like I like to go all in. I like to go all in on everything that I do. And I don't think that that's always necessary. It's necessary to get there, but I don't think it's necessary to start. And I think that when you look at things that are so huge, like even a mountain, right? If you're going to climb a mountain, that's even one step at a time. But if you stay staring at the entire mountain, you're going to get tired very quickly. But if you look down to where your feet are and you just take that next step, and you take another one and another one, at the end, all those positive steps in the right direction will lead you to conquer whatever you set out to conquer in the beginning. All you need is a plan and positive habits to back that plan every single day. And do it every single day. That's another thing. Eating the apple, an apple a day, don't eat an apple 4 days out of the week. Eat an apple every single day. If that's all you do. If you walk around the block, cool, that's it. But do it every single day. Walk every single day. And your body and your mind will want a bigger challenge. And it'll push you past. Maybe you start walking two blocks, 2 times around the block. Maybe you start doing a half mile, a mile. Maybe someday you end up doing 10 miles, a half marathon. But you can't just go outside and start running a half marathon. Maybe you can. And if you can, you think you can, prove me wrong, please. I think that life is all about doing the little things every single day, compounding them, and making your life better. Because what you do on a daily basis is most of your life. So make the most of your life good. Make most of your decisions good. And I think if we're all, 90% is perfection, right? So let's try to hit 90% on all of our decisions, make all of our decisions good. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being patient with me as I move through this life and as I keep grinding and keep changing things up. And hopefully here in the near future, I'll be moving again, but this time moving into my own place, my own home. That's the goal. And I put things in line in order to be able to achieve that. And I'm excited. So thank you all for listening. As you know, we're on Instagram at excelcast_. We're on YouTube at excelcast, Spotify excelcast. We are on TikTok at excelcast. I'll be dropping new reels here soon. And thank you for all you that support and that watch the show. And as always, stay blessed and excel.